Hey folks, I'm here with Sven and we're going to be talking about Divinity Original Sin 2. How are you today?
Very happy. We just went over $1 million on Kickstarter, so that was really good.
Fantastic, congratulations.
Thank you
Could
very
you
much.
actually start with talking with Kickstarter? How was that working with the fans and the crowds to get your game funded?
Well, we already went for the first game to
Right.
Kickstarter, so and on returning, basically the pitch that we offered, the game is already funded. We said, well, these are the things that we can add on top of it, which we would like to add on top of it, and the response was phenomenal. I mean, and it was backed in 12 hours. Today we went over $1 million, which is already the third stretch goal that's unlocked, and so it keeps on going on. So it's really it's beautiful.
Awesome. Now can you talk about what's new in Divinity Original Sin 2? What's going on with the story and what are some new features that players can get their hands on?
All right, so there's quite a lot. So in multiplayer you can play with up to 4 players. You can play cooperatively, but this time you can also play competitively. We have something called competitive questing. At the beginning of the game you pick an origin story, that's new. So these origin stories are very important because depending on who you are, what you are, every single dialogue is almost different. You can play as different races, so we have elves, dwarves, lizards and humans, and as the Kickstarter keeps on going we'll have undead to play as also. Then the combat system has been expanded. There's going to be a truckload, I was almost going to say the wrong word, a truckload of extra skills, ways of playing it. We have racial skills, so depending on which race you are, that's thanks to the Kickstarter also actually, you're going to have different skills that are only exclusive to a certain race. Then there's a whole bunch of extra systems. There's a new world, it's an upgraded engine. You can play in split screen versus somebody else in split screen or together with them, so couples can play with couples, so it's really, there's a lot.
How can players interact with each other in the multiplayer?
So in multiplayer, pretty much everything that you see in the world is interactable, so you can move items around, you can talk to every single NPC. Depending on who you are, you'll have different dialogue options. But once a decision is made or something has been done to that NPC, that's the way it is. So if you, for instance, are going to cooperate with me and you said like, we're going to do this thing, and then I'm going to have to deal with that you'd selected we're going to do this thing. But then and that's new, I said, no, I don't agree with that. I'm going to do that thing, all right? And then we can actually start fighting with each other if you want, or we can have discussions about it in-game.
Fantastic. Now also when you were showing me the demo, there was someone who was poisoned and instead of properly healing them, you killed them and talked to their spirit. There seems to be multiple ways that you can complete quests in your game. So how does that interact with your storylines and your quests?
Well, the first Original Sin already had like this feature, like for instance, if you would, you have a talent system, if you would have picked up the talent Pet Pal, so you could talk to animals or animal empathy if you want, then talking to animals already give you different solutions to quests. Like spirit talking is just an additional layer which has been added on top of that, but it allows you to kill everybody in the game. There's always going to be spirit that appears. And so they're basically like, if you become a mad murderer and kill everybody, you'll still be able to pick up the necessary pieces of information and find solutions through that.
Awesome. And finally, when can players get their hands on your game?
If they back us on Kickstarter, they'll have access to the alpha and the beta at the moment that that's released. When it's going to be finished, anything I will tell is probably a lie. So I'm not going to even pretend. We're hoping to be finished with it in 15 months. Chances are that it's going to take us longer than that.
Well, thanks for your honesty. Thank you so much for showing me the game. It looks fantastic. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And for more content like this, go to shacknews.com.